Yeah, good morning, everyone. This is me, your brother, your friend, your man Steven, right here on the show. It's going to be a very quick one this morning because I have a lot on my hands. I'm doing a documentary soon, which I'm going to release. I'm doing a documentary which I'm going to release very soon on the condition of things right here in this country. But right now, let me just quickly talk about issue that's actually bothering on us. Okay, I've been here quite some time now, and it has been a little bit worrisome and very tough, I must say. But the truth of the matter is this: I think we can make it possible if we all want to actually make it possible. So I'm going to just speak on the general condition of Nigeria states today, and uh, and Edo as in particular. I heard yesterday. Let me start from there. I heard yesterday that the state government, led by Governor Naras Obaseki, is relocating the central hospital to Stella Passenger, along a limit road, no, along a country home road in Ubo quarters of the local government. I also heard from other quarters, particularly the opposition party, that the intention of the government to relocate the hospital is for the government to turn the, vast expanse of land to what they call what's it called, park. You know, I don't know how true that is, but if that is the truth, I want to appeal to the government not to think that because health is wealth, and one of the major thing that the government should be thinking of is how to create wealth by creating good health for the Edo people. I've also seen here in Edo State today that we have so much of our bureaus in uniform. Okay, I mean it. We have so much of our bureaus in uniform, and the era of aburism was abolished or it ended with the election. And one of the reasons why most of us supported the governor of Obaseki is because of the eradication of tout from the street. But the kind of tout we have now is what the tout I'm going to call a legalized tout. Okay, guys. One I have today that we have today in Edo State, they are legalized touts. Touts that actually have the backing of the government. They are on uniforms. Some of them call themselves revenue mobilizer, revenue enforcer, revenue collector, the PUWO, the S-man, etc., etc. Guys, the truth of the matter is this: these guys are becoming a nuisance to the society. The fact is this: the fact remains that these guys have become a nuisance to the society. Their excesses is becoming unbearable to every sane human being in this state. I am a very strong supporter of Gwenero Obaseki, but the modus of operandi of these guys is not different from the Akube ventures. They are arrogant, they are violent, they arrest indiscriminately, they treat the drivers with so much dismay. They act as the law, they act as the enforcer, they act as the judge at the same time. In a sane society, that ought not to have been. So when a man becomes a judge in his own case, tyranny is about to be displayed. I will give you a very critical example. Yesterday, I was driving out because right now I'm at UBTH. Like I told you guys, I'm doing a documentary. I was driving out, and along Mission Road. So I was going towards, Ubo area, going towards home. Along Mission Road, I saw a car parked. A driver was inside the car. The ignition was on, guys. Listen to this right now. The ignition was on, and the guy was on the steering side of the car. And before I could know what was happening, some group of boys on uniform ran and held this guy hostage right at that spot. So they created a kind of go slow because they use their vehicle to block the road. You know how they operate, like a commando style. And I was thinking to know what is actually happening. I drove a little bit forward and I asked a question. So the guy was explaining what was happening. And I remember that I told the guys, by law, the law of no parking zone stipulates, and I quote, when a car is parked somewhere with the driver and the ignition on, he is not parking. He hasn't parked yet. When the driver is on the seat and the ignition is on, the guy hasn't parked yet. They said the entire area is a no parking zone, so nobody is allowed to even stay anywhere around that place. And before we could know it, they dragged this guy out of the car and towed his car away. I didn't know what happened anymore, okay? Because I had to drive off. I went home. When I saw the incident that took place there, I began to wonder if these guys are actually educated or trained on the modus of operandis of the operations. Because what actually brings about anarchy, total breakdown of law and order, is when people are saddled with power of responsibilities, but they are not trained on the way and manner to carry out their operations. You get that, guys? Now that will create a very awkward condition in the state. Because these guys are empowered by law, so they are taking the law to the extreme in order to victimize the people they claim to be less privileged. Those who do not have what it takes to challenge them because they are on the government uniform. I am using this medium to call on the government of Obaseki, as a matter of fact, retrain their leaders in the way and manner they need to approach and deal with motorists. And then these leaders will not go and train their subordinates on the modus of operandis. If not, we are going to end up in a cycle that will be destructive to the plan of making Edo great again. In a world where I come from, guys, if you are on your steering, your ignition is on, you violated no law. You also have a time limit of parking your car in the said location. Okay? Like, for example, there, You cannot park on the bus lane in Sweden. What do? If you're going to pick up a passenger, you can drive in, pick up your passenger, and drive off. You didn't park there. It's just like a pick up point. This, I think, the government needs to actually talk about. It's very important. On the issue of the Nigerian government, I heard yesterday that President Muhammadu Buhari private jet or plane nearly had a crash. They had developed some fault, and the plane has been flew to Germany for repairs. And based on information reaching us, the daily cost of the plane where it's going to be parked at the hangar in Germany will cost the nation 2.4 million naira on daily basis. Right now, nobody knows actually how long it's going to take them to actually fix the the flight or the plane back to life. And I began to ask myself some very vital questions. What is actually the problem with a nation called Nigeria? Nothing is working how it ought to actually works. There's a lot of issues that is happening in this nation that gets people like me really worried, troubled, and a little bit upset. The Prime Minister of Britain, Boris Johnson, even the Queen of England, does not have a private jet. He actually flies on the British Airways. Having 10 fleets of private jets in an economy that borrows to take care of themselves is worrisome. Yesterday, as I was following the proceedings of the defense of the 2022 budget, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Water Resources, came to defend the budget. The minister didn't come. She came in there, and they said they were going to borrow 600 million US dollars, guys. 600 million US dollars for water provision. And thank God for those guys who were actually there, the committee that was set up to actually drill her. I was impressed, I must say. The first time I can see the Senate being factual with truth. And my worries was this. In Edo State, in Benin City, we are actually living, there's no sign of government water anywhere. I don't know about where you live, guys. The last time I actually saw the government water was in 1982 to around 83, when I was still a very young guy. From there till now, I have not seen anything like that in any form or whatsoever. On a yearly basis, billions of naira are being earmarked for water provision, both in the state and in the federal level. But truth be told, there is no form of water anywhere in this nation. My question was, where does that very particular fund go to? Having said that also, are you guys also actually aware that President Muhammadu Buhari has also earmarked 24 billion naira for Aso Rock Clinic. My question is this also, guys. A clinic that is not attended by any government official, both in Abuja and in all the states of the Federation. How can such a budget be useful or be used accordingly when at the end of the day, the guys who are supposed to be involved are not going to be there? Guys, if you see the way money are being siphoned in this country, it will beat your wildest imagination. I am a little bit worried the way things are going. Like I said, I've been in University of Benin Teaching Hospital. This place is a mess. I'm not going to say much about that today because I'm really trying to put all my facts together. And I'm going to have, more or less like an interview. I will be interviewed by our brother, Leftist Amaosa, which I will have time, to actually atomize the decays, the deficiencies in this very particular health sector. One of the greatest problems we have in this country is health sector issues. Our government doesn't care. They don't give a hoot about us. They don't care about anything that concerns us. So all they care about is how much they're going to extort from the people without not thinking of what they are going to give in return for the people. I must say that these guys, our government has failed us in every ramification of life. We had been failed by this government. Guys, believe it or not, if we don't come to the head of this nation in due course, this nation might go into extinction. The corruption happening here in this nation today is alarming. It's beyond, guys, 1 minute. It's alarming and it's beyond our wildest imaginations. Everywhere is corrupt. We need a change of leadership. Not just a change of leadership alone, we need a change of leadership mindset. We need people who are patriotic, who have the fear of humanity, and who sees their nation as a priority. Those are people that we need in a time like this, guys. Good morning, greatness. Because what we are experiencing right now can lead to the total collapse of this entity called Nigeria. From the federal to the state level, corruption is epidemic. Even in the government of Enora Obaseki, there's corruption everywhere. This is not to indict anybody or the government, but many of their followers are corrupt to the bones. We need a workable, forcible government to be able to do the needful and make things work according to the dictates and plans of our forefathers. That is why most of the time I call on those technocrats, entrepreneurs, Europe, America trained personalities to come to the aid of this nation before it collapsed on the burden of debt that they are amassing for our generation and generation yet to born. Based on the Minister of Finance, every Nigerian is owing about 9,000 naira. Every Nigerian is owing about 9,000 naira debt to foreign investors. And the government is doing nothing. Rather, they are planning to borrow a lasting solution to the corruption epidemics of this nation. We might wake up one day, we have nothing to be called a nation. My plea to you guys is to wake up and let's begin to fight for our rights. We can't continue to sit idle and be docile, knowing fully where the burden is falling on us on every area. We must stand up. Let's fight to protect and help this nation from collapsing. In my area, Atubo, it's a funny story, but this is true. Before I returned back to Sweden, that was in late September, in early September. The landlords around that area came to my compound and they asked us to pay some bills. I know this is applicable to every part of Nigeria, anyways. We have not seen it to be normal, but it's not. After summer was bad, and then we decided to connect from the other side, the Ogumoyi side of the area. And each compound we asked to pay 56,000 naira. No, 66,000 naira to the owner of the transformer before we can be granted assets to connect our light. We did that, and they drew do you remember that, guys? This is a NEPA officials or PSC or whatever they call it, are actually charging us for this. We drew the light. It got to a point, they said they cannot go into it. We need to now pay additional money. I had to pay 10,000 naira before they can take the light from the pole to my compound. That will not be 60. Then after about 3 weeks, the light went off. So something happened to the light. because there was actually a thunderstorm. So after the light went off, the entire Amamba Ubo Ekumoyi went off for about 5 days. There was no light. So on the fifth day, the light came up. My own side didn't come up, guys. Okay. Then we went to call the I'm just trying to talk about the in-depth of corruption right now. We went to call the BEDC, wherever they are. Anyways, they said, "Come on, our lights aren't working." So they came. They found that the transformer had faults. They asked us to now pay 3,000 naira each compound again to fix what was wrong in the transformer. And we have no choice. We paid. That was now around on the 12th of September. So the light didn't come until I left. And when I came back, one of the guys one of the landlords who were actually organizing this came back and said, we need to pay another 5,000 naira again. What happened? They said the feeder pillar, those guys who knows this will know what I'm talking about, is bad. And it's going to cost some hundreds of thousands of naira. So they're expecting us to pay, to buy the component, and also to pay for the workmanship. And I asked a simple question. Are we actually the owner of the transformer, or we are doing this on behalf of the government? Do you know what they do? The minute you pay this money, they will ask you to sign a paper that you are supporting the government. That's the level of corruption in this country. They will ask you to sign a paper that you are supporting the government, not that you were forced to do it now. It's like you voluntarily decided to carry out that job because you want to support the government of the Federation. I can't itemize the rate of corruption in this country. Guys, I cannot itemize it right now. In every sector, in every unit, in every department, in every ministry, even auto private sectors, they are being enveloped with corruption. Nigeria is actually now corruption pandemic. And any nation that there is high rate of corruption, such a nation can never stand. The corruption is from the top down to the least. There is high level of secrecy in governance in this nation, both at the state and the federal levels. In a civilized clime, every man who was employed by their people through the ballot box listens to the voice of the people. But what we see in the case of Nigeria is that during election, they are subject, humbled to the people. But immediately they win an election, they see themselves as the boss, and the people see themselves as the slave, not the masters right now, guys. And that is making many of these people to do and undo. The last part of my show today is the open grazing. I think it's close to a month now that meeting was held, and we heard nothing about it. We are still having a very high rate of kidnapping and every other part. I want to appeal on the government of Edo State not to disappoint the people. You should give the people what they need. And what the people need right now is protecting their lives and property from destruction. There's high hunger in the land. The rate at which things are expensive in this state is unbearable, guys. It's unbearable. The festivity period is coming. Things are getting out of hand by each passing day. We need a government to act in the interest of the people and protect the collective interests of the Nigerian people, and Edo State in particular. I want to call on the government of Obaseki to us, please, as a matter of fact, set the hospital, central hospital working again. The people are suffering. The cost of medication is on the high side. It is killing and it's creating a lot of stress for the Edo people. Like I said, I've been in this hospital for days now, doing some little documentaries on the way people have been treated here. I've not been allowed to take photos. Sometimes I try to take some, through the back. But I have information that is very, very vital to our dealings. Thank you, guys. This is how I will go to the right now. I need to go back in again to see more of what I can do. And I'm going to be leaving soon to somewhere else again. Okay, let me just come out quickly, just talk to you guys, update you guys. Thank God I'm not able to use my StreamYard right now. So guys are going to see me online, most of the time. What you guys will do for me is to help me share this video. And I want you to help me share this video, guys, while I continue to do what I would do. I'm going to shock you guys. The bill they give to people in hospitals, the bill, God, the bills they give to people in hospitals, you will shake, you will fear. Let me just say, a lady has been here now for 1 month now. She could not pay the bills. You are giving someone that delivered 250,000 naira, $250,000. $250,000, guys. 250,000 to pay in a government hospital. Where do you expect her to get the money? These are just hustler. The husband is just a keke driver. And you know what they do? They locked her up here until they get the money. I'm not going to talk about. I'm going to do that. It's going to be a video. I'm going to sit down with our brother, Leftist. I'm going to ask him if he's going to be free. We're going to sit down. I'm going to address this issue. Bomba Tumbaba. I'm going to tell you why. The negligence, yeah. The negligence in our hospital. The negligence in our hospital, guys, is something else. Just watch this documentary I'm going to put up. It's going to be an explosive one. You're going to get it on Naija Watch YouTube when it comes up. It will be directly to Naija Watch. Please get tuned up. I'm going to announce it the day I'm going to do this interview and explain all I saw in this place. People die. There's high level of carelessness. I don't careism in our health sector. I hope. Please share this video. Let it go viral. like, subscribe, give us thumbs up, drop your comments. I'm doing my best to make sure I deliver on my promises as a humanist to my people. I'm using my resources, my time, my energy to have a better Edo that will be workable for all of us. I will not give up, neither will I betray the confidence and trust that you guys had on me. So a very big thank you to you all. Big thank you to my brother, my friend. He said again, the Niger was Huna, Mommy Diaspora, my dear sister and friend, Mercy Ekwase, and every one of you who has always been there, Irene, Rita Adams, and many of you supporting me. Together, I know we can make it great. I'm confident that when we take over from them, we'll break this yeast of not moving forward. Trust me, guys, I know what I'm saying, and I somehow believe in the capability of those that, believe it or not, we are coming in to make a remarkable difference. Thank you, guys. I need to go right away. See you later in the day. And bye for now. Please just share this video and bye.